They left at nightfall. Elia, Leary, and Mirrorbloom, cloaked in vault light, walking a path that didn't exist in the normal world. It wove through dead space, across memory roots too deep for time to rot. The place they headed to wasn't on maps. Not even the vault system recognized it, but Leary did. She had dreamed of this place since the age of 4, a field of floating stones, orbiting nothing, where voices whispered in reverse and the stars blinked in numbers instead of light. When they crossed the boundary, the world didn't break. It forgot. Elia blinked, and suddenly they were there. The null verge. The sky was white here, not bright, just blank. There was no up or down. Stones floated like islands, chained by memory vines. Gravity moved sideways. Leary didn't stumble. She walked to the center where a glass pillar pulsed with soft, impossible symbols. Mirrorbloom whispered, "I've been here, but I died before I reached the center." Elia narrowed her eyes. "Then don't leave her side." Leary stepped forward. The pillar reacted, not to her presence, but to her possibilities. Dozens of silhouettes rippled around her, flickering into view. Leary the seer, Leary the killer, Leary the martyr, Leary the queen, Leary the weapon, Leary the god. They hovered like ghosts, walking in loops, living pieces of paths not yet taken. And in the center of them all, a figure sat calmly, tall, ageless, robed in woven time thread. He had no face, just a mirror where one should be. And when he spoke, Leary heard her own voice, older, deeper, more distant. "So this is the version you've chosen, Elia." Elia stepped in front of her daughter, blades drawn. "Who are you?" "I am the first anchor," the being said, "the one who taught the world how to remember what hadn't happened yet. I am the reason timelines bleed." Leary stepped forward, trembling. "Why did you call me here?" The being's mirror face flickered. "Because you are what I once was, unshaped, untamed, dangerous. You are not just a child of the new world. You are its axis." The glass beneath their feet trembled. Mirrorbloom raised her hand instinctively, preparing to phase out. But Leary held up hers. "No, I want to know." The original anchor lifted a single hand. A clock of sand and stars appeared behind him, ticking sideways. "There are 3 stages for those like us, child. 1, awareness. You have it. 2, control. You seek it. 3, the mirror flashed bright, acceptance. The moment you choose what you will become, and kill the rest." A shard of light floated down from above. It hovered before Leary's chest. "No," Mirrorbloom said. "You were born where the world was trying to heal." "That's rarer." She reached into her cloak and pulled out a fragment of petrichor, an ancient stone that pulsed once when Elan touched it. "You're not a geomancer. You're a world echo. The planet doesn't just obey you. It remembers itself through you." Elan blinked. "I don't get it." "You will." She stood, then added, "When Rainsol steps on the ground, you'll be the first to know." At 03:10 a.m., Elan woke screaming, not from a dream, but from a quake in the song of the soil. He ran to Elia's room. "He's here," Elan gasped. He touched the ground 5 miles away. "The trees told me." "They're scared." Elia's blood ran cold. The vault responded. Proximity alert, 4.8 calm. Enemy forces, 3 airships, 60+ Council-class operatives. Leader, Rainsol, non-counterable. ETA, 19 minutes. Elia looked at her children. Leary's hands glowed with fraying blue light. Elan's fists were coated in wet soil, pulsing with pulse root veins. Mirrorbloom stood still, blades already unsheathed. Kale placed a hand on Elia's shoulder. "This is it." "No," Elia said. "This is our beginning." She turned to the vault core. "Release the sanctuary seals. Let them see what we've become." Lur 3:29 a.m. The vault tree's roots hummed with ancient power. Above, 3 black airships pierced the sky like knives in cloth. Their hulls shimmered with null magic. No sound, no lights, just the certainty of destruction. Rainsol descended first. No armor, no helm, just a long coat, boots soaked in dust, and a sword that had never been drawn in a future anyone survived. His feet touched the soil. The ground didn't shake. It froze. Elan felt it like a scream in his chest. "He's muting the land," he whispered, gripping the earth with both hands. Leary beside him whispered back, "Then we make it loud again." Inside the vault tree, Elia stood tall. Her blades were sheathed, her voice steady. "Mirrorbloom," she said. The clone girl stepped forward. "Get the children underground if I fall. Burn the exits. Wipe the core. You know what to do. But Mirabloom shook her head. I'm tired of being someone else's contingency plan. She drew both blades and said, This time I'm fighting with my family. Rainsoul reached the center clearing alone. The soldiers hung back, afraid to step into Vault Root territory. Their commander didn't need them. He didn't even look at the sanctuary, only at Aaliyah. You've aged, he said. You're still arrogant, she replied. He looked at her children behind her, then at Mirabloom, and smiled. So these are your sins. The timeline you stole. The children you hid from judgment. He drew his sword, not steel, but something worse. A blade of severed potential. Cut by it, one wouldn't bleed. They'd forget what they were becoming. Aaliyah stepped forward, and so did Kale. And Mirabloom, and then Lyri and Ellen. No, Aaliyah said, glancing back in shock. But Lyri met her eyes. You taught us to fight. Elan placed a hand to the ground. And now it's our turn to protect you. The battle began without warning. Rain moved, faster than thought. The null blade screamed across the air, aiming for Lyri first. But Mirabloom intercepted, catching the blade with her own. And being flung across the clearing, Aaliyah countered instantly, blades dancing like lightning. Kale launched fire from his bare fists, weaving it through defensive runes. But Rain broke every rule. He moved between time frames, stepping through cause and effect like stairs. Lyri's foresight failed. Her visions shattered mid-battle. I can't see him, she gasped. He's not meant to be seen, Mirabloom hissed, rising with a bloody grin. So we stopped trying. That's when Elan knelt, palms flat to the dirt, heart open, spirit screaming. He didn't call to the world. He listened. To the trees that were silent. To the roots that were strangled. To the earth that ached to remember. And then the soil answered. A roar split the clearing. Roots exploded upward, glowing gold. The earth cracked, reshaping into armor around Elan's arms. His chest, a living shell of the planet's will. Now I hear you, Elan whispered. He punched the ground, and the world fought back. Rain staggered. For the first time he looked surprised. But it was Lyri who struck next. She no longer reached forward in time. She reached sideways, into possible moments, into seconds that might have happened, but didn't. And she rewrote one. She turned a moment of Rain's strike into hesitation. Just enough. Eliah's blade pierced his side. Rain gasped. But he didn't fall. He looked up at Aaliyah, blood running, and smiled through the pain. You really made gods. Aaliyah shook her head. No, she said. I made my children. Rain fell to one knee, not dead, but defeated. The soldiers never came down. They saw what had happened. They turned back. Later, as the dawn broke over a smoking sky and silent airships, the vault whispered, Eclipse spawn status, escalated to Event Class Omega. New classification Pantheon class confirmed. All timelines destabilizing around Central Family. Council retreating for now. Aaliyah stood with her arms around both her children. Mirabloom leaned on Kale, both exhausted. And the vault tree bloomed, once again, for the first time. The world would not stop hunting them. The council would come again, the future still fractured. But for now, they stood. Not as anomalies, not as threats, not even as heroes, but as a family, one the world would remember. Even if it had to rewrite time itself to do so.